My name is Laurel Lippert. If the Truckee Tahoe Airport District could negotiate a land trade or purchase to keep development out of Parcel 4, it would satisfy the airport's master plan open space program by ensuring airport operations safety and preventing or reducing noise and annoyance from aircraft for those living near the airport. Those already impacted by airport activity in the existing neighborhoods near Parcel 4 would greatly benefit by the district's move to preserve this open space and retain what peace they have. In summary, with the trade, Joerger Associates, the owners, could have a more saleable piece of property suitable for development. Airport neighbors would be protected from the impacts of even more growth and development. The Truckee Tahoe Airport District would show concern for public safety and guarantee a critical emergency landing option for pilots now and into the future.
I'm a pilot. I got a hangar in G1. I take off here all the time, and I think it would be a great enhancement to the safety if that was just maintained as open space. I can't say too much more to encourage the board to do that.
I'm Sunny Todd, and I also support the comments that have been made by people preceding me. Additionally, I live in that neighborhood, and additionally, I worked at the airport for 10 years watching the aircraft come and go, and I'm a pilot.
Hi, my name is Tatjana Brennan and I live in Ponderosa. If you are a pilot in an emergency situation, what would you choose? A, to try to clear a 40-foot tree in open space area, or B, try to clear a 35-foot building with people inside. Should you decide to acquire the property, you can always trim the trees. If not, buildings will be built there, and so what about safety? Let's also talk encroachment. What do you think will happen if additional 80 housing units plus a business park gets built on Parcel 4, so close to the airport? Will the airport receive more noise complaints? Ask the other airports what effect encroachment had on them. Now that the Truckee Town Council decided to do away with affordable housing on PC3, replaced it with normal market price housing, don't you think that these new neighbors might complain? We in Ponderosa are the closest neighbors to the airport since 1969. Take that into consideration. We hear every plane that flies, that people hear in Olympic Heights, Mardis, or North Star. We know when aircraft traffic increases, when more jets or turboprops take off or land. We are actually your human noise monitors. We have always been supportive of this airport, and we ask you now to support us.
I'm Lee Golden, and I'm a member of the totally support what our previous speakers have mentioned about this, and I'm really happy to see how proactive the airport is reaching out to look at possible open space purchase to prevent encroachment issues. We all know there's a lot of encroachment issues that could affect this airport.
Hi, I'm Curtis Crooks. My wife served on ACAT for a while. She was on the board for a while, and I know when she served on the board that the airport did a great job acquiring the golf course, and I think that's been a big success, and the fact that that has remained open land. There were some other acquisitions that were made. I think we have good momentum, and I think that I totally agree with my other friends who've spoken already that that would be definitely worthwhile. I mean, I am a pilot. I've flown with Laurel, and some of the things that are trained in biennials are looking for emergency places to land at the worst possible times, and we know that most engine failures statistically occur within the aircraft, the airport perimeters, and so any options that we have, and Jim knows that, I mean, anyone who's a pilot, any options that we have for that definitely lend itself to the safety aspect.
Hi there. My name is Paula Smith, and I live in Sierra Meadows with my husband and my 2 children, and we've lived in this community for about 20 years, and I'm super nervous. I just want to say we would be super grateful if this purchase or trade were to happen. The noise, we live in the front of Sierra Meadows, so near Broadway Road, and it's loud. I don't even open my windows in the summertime because it's so loud. So this is just, PC3 has been on my mind for years, and when it was, knowing that it was going to be developed, thinking about moving, and it's not a big possibility for my family, but I just don't want to see our community keep sprawling out. I'm not against development. I'm in full support of the railway yard in downtown Truckee. I think that's a great idea. I don't really believe that we should keep moving our development out, and especially in this parcel. It just, as a community member, I'm not behind it in a bigger picture, and also for my family and the noise that it will create. So I just want to say, if you would, thinking about this, I'm super grateful as a community member that you're considering this. So thank you.
Thanks, Paula.
I'm Matt Paxton. I live out of Donner Lake. I just want to support Laurel's comments, about encroachment and safety of flight issues. I'm a local pilot also, and any way you can keep encroachment from creeping up on the airport will save you a lot of heartache in the future. And you just have to look at the Harrison Ford incident here recently and see how close those houses are to that airport. He was lucky to find a place to set that airplane down. So if you could, I support it, and I'm sure my wife does, that any acquisition that would keep this BC project from going forward would be a big help.
My name's Sarah Payne. I'm a neighbor of the Liberts, and I'm not a pilot, but I live right in the neighborhood, and I just think that I want to say thank you for considering this, and that you speak of being a good neighbor, and we get a lot of noise and the overflies from the airport, and if you can prevent the development of Parcel 4, that would decrease noise in our neighborhood from traffic and from new development, and would make you guys good neighbors. So I support it, and thanks for considering it.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian. I'm a flight nurse with California Shock Trauma Air Rescue, and by no means does my opinion represent California Shock Trauma Air Rescue. But as a flight nurse, we fly up here quite often, and in the guise of safety and the wise thing to do, keeping that open space, I fully support that. Statistically, engine failures typically happen on takeoff, and coming out of takeoff, there's not a lot of options around here. So having a place to set down, or even risk our lives as opposed to risking other people's lives as having buildings in that area, is something that sits well with me.
I'm Fred Sapone. I'm a Truckee resident and a hangar tenant. I agree with all of the reasoning that's gone before me. I certainly think it's clear that the advantages of why this would be a good purchase, trade, whatever it works out to be. Mary made a comment about the cost, and of course the cost is unknown. We know it's going to be expensive. Land is always expensive. The acquisition is arduous, and the reason is obvious. They're not making it anymore, and they're certainly not making it this close to the airport. This is a unique opportunity to get a buffer, or continue the buffer process. Another comment is that the airport's got a strategy to increase buffers. The essence of strategy is early control. If you can control something early in the game, you're the one who gets to decide the use. I'd like to encourage the board to ask staff to get in on this early, see what the options are, and make this happen. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
I'm Tom Lippert, and I apologize for lacking the eloquence of my wife. It's a tough act, some of that. Laura and I have lived here for 40 years and been flying out of Truckee Airport since 1988. We lived downtown for 30 years and now live on the Ponderosa Golf Course. We love this community and we're not leaving. We feel as pilots and neighbors, Parcel 4 of PC3 should remain undeveloped in perpetuity. For many reasons. As pilots, flying a single engine airplane, we have taken off runway 29 hundreds of times and spotted that only viable spot over there if something goes on during those critical moments on takeoff. And although the airport land use club has designated the area as acceptable for business development, in December of 2009, we walked to an airplane crash on this property right in that biz zone. And the pilot and the passenger walked away from the scene. The airplane was destroyed. They walked because there were no buildings there. If there had been buildings there, it could have been a disaster, both for the pilot, co-pilot, and anybody in the buildings.